everyone. I'm just gonna talk about something that isn't Warframe related, but also kind of Warframe related. It's basically about my channel. Basically, you've been seeing a lot of videos lately that aren't just the same thing. I'm doing variety to see what is the best. I've seen that Fortnite, that isn't good at all. UCN, that's doing good, but it's mainly Warframe that's doing good. Oh yeah, I've also got 2 episodes of Ghost Runner ready, so yeah, that's gonna be good. So it's gonna be about the state of Warframe. Obviously, none of my friends done a video on that, but I did comment on it about what I thought. Anyway, it basically, to summarize, it's not fair that AoE weapons are the meta, and like Warframes need desperate reworks so other Warframes can be in the limelight instead of just saying Warframes like Revenant 7 or blah blah blah. Yeah, and also that Warframe is one of the best games ever. But I do have something to say about the Nightmare Frames video. Warframe does not have the smoothest movement Ghost Runner does. I've just played it today, and it's just amazing. The movement's really good. The game's really hard, so yeah, the episodes you're gonna see me rage. Well, hear me, is because I don't have face cam yet, still. So anyway, it's about Warframe. The devs, they keep on saying like, oh, let's bring back raids because the community wants to, but they aren't. They're adding new things, not upgrading the things that they have not like fixed. Planes of Eidolon, like there's so much bugs. There was also a bug on Sisters of Parvos when that came out, where no matter what you would get knocked over by an Eidolon. Like the pulses of the Eidolon would just keep on making you staggered, even though they aren't supposed to. Like constantly face down, and then you get back up face down, and then it keeps on repeating. That isn't fair. That isn't cool. But that is fixed now, but still more bugs. Arcwing bugs, speed bugs, lure bugs, hacking bugs. They aren't fixing that. It's because it's old content. They only care about new content. But the sad reality is we don't need new content. We don't need new stuff. We need the older stuff to be upgraded. We don't need new game modes. Overhaul the game modes. We're gonna get 2 new game modes in the Zalmon update, but we don't need that. We just don't. Also, come up with something harder. Steel Path's a joke at this point. There's so much stuff. We've gained stronger. We're gonna annihilate Steel Path. It's not a challenge anymore. Like right now, the only thing to do is endurance runs, Eidolon hunts, Revel caps, which are basically endurance runs, ESO, and leveling up. I don't know anything else other than like farming and stuff. Like, what is there? And people in the comments better not say Conclave. Conclave is gay. Imagine playing Renaro 24/7. You are an imbecile if you do that. Now, anyway, moving on to the Warframes. On Warped, I thought Caliban was good. I thought he had a good kit. His 1 quite bad. His 2 a really good, like, Stomp CC. It's better than Rhinos because it makes enemies have a debuff. It costs less energy. It has, honestly, better range scaling. His 3, like, it can give him shields, but it's only when, like, something happens, like when you hit, and it's not instantaneous. It needs to be instantaneous. Like, at least make it so like there's a one like instant burst and then 2 seconds later it starts going and it's a lot faster. That would help Caliban and survivability. And of course this 4 armor strip, big zone, amount of damage that would one-shot level 50s. Only level 50s. So yeah, basically the 2 last Warframes, Caliban and stupid anime water hentai girl, Yoreli. What was DE thinking when they were making Yoreli? I don't know what they were. Goldfish on typewriters, making code on goddamn stupid ass simp bait. What is it? What's special? She's a water character. It's not like we already have Hydroid. We now have the goddamn water couple now. Wait. What's next? A fire male. Bam. There we go. Fire couple. It's quite gay. It's quite stupid. Yoreli's just horrible design. Its 3 is the best ability, but and now she needs an organ to be semi-viable, and even with the good organ she got, that won't make her go to level cap or do 5-hour endurance runs, is because her survivability is the main issue. Her survivability is actual dog. What is her survivability? Go on a K-drive that can't backflip, go through a Grenier door when she goddamn bends over completely to get through. Like, it's mobility and survivability. Why does the survivability have health? And it's like Rhino and Revenant have that, but it makes sense. They can't take damage, but Yoreli, you can still take a lot of damage. It's because the damage reduction isn't good. Damage negation, invulnerability, crowd control, that's what we need. But even then, we have 2 crowd control abilities, and they aren't good at it either. Riptide's better, Sea Snares, it's garbage. What is it? Like, you need to spend 75 energy base for it to reach max potential. It can look through walls, it can detect enemies through walls, but it just pops after hitting the wall twice. It's not good dedicated crowd control, it's the worst. It's just the worst. And Riptide, when you explode it, it makes enemies ragdoll. Yeah, it's a good group, but you can't get headshots, and they ragdoll after you detonate it, and they legit had to buff the damage growth on Riptide, but they didn't need to do it on Sephiroth's airburst. It's because Sephiroth already has an amazing kit other than her 1. Like, Yoreli is super bad. There was so much opportunity. Like, they can easily remove like most of her abilities and make good ones, and she could be like C or B. As long as they like keep Aqua Blades or Riptide and make them really good. Like, actually have a infinite timer, like infinite staggers with the Aqua Blades instead of 3 times, and then it just stops hitting, and then it keeps on going. It's slow slash blocks, and even then, Viral won't really be good, because there's no way to buff the slash. There's no way to. There's no faction mod. You have to use Raw too, and that's copium. Like, Yoreli Breach Surge with Breach Surge, that isn't good. You can't really even shoot the sparks when they're in Riptide. Sea Snares, it just completely locks them down, but doesn't lock down Demoliths. It doesn't lock down Acolytes. It locks down stupid ads. Does she have any good crowd control? No. Does she have any good damage? No. Does she have good survivability? No. Does she have good support? No. She has nothing. All she's gonna be she's the female, and I do mean the female Naros. Those two are the worst characters in the game. Hydra and Grendel are bad, but Grendel still has scaling damage, like a buff for energy and can heal himself, toxin damage, so it's a really good helmet ability, Nourish. And, well, the third ability isn't that good, but still, 1 and 2 of Grendel are actually good abilities to use. And Hydroid just staggers enemies and goes underwater and is used for pilfering swarm. Tentacles come out of the ground. Well, his passive is really the best thing, like tentacles coming out, and you can use hunt, and then enemies can take true damage from the tentacles, but he can't scale with like viral and stuff. Well, it actually can, as his true damage goes through armor, which means that slashes, yeah, who cares? Yeah, so but it just feels weird that it's the same characters at the top. Mag, Wisp, Trinity, Saren, Korra, Revenant, and poor Nida Seahead. Equinox. Not if I'm putting Equinox at C tier, but Excal at B. Wow. Like, yeah, like Warframes coming out recently are actually boosting other Warframes. Garuda and Nyx, they've gotten better. It's because of the recent characters. Nightmare Frame has done it. Like 2021, he had Nyx and Garuda at B, and now they're both at A. Is it because of builds he's done? No. It's just that they've naturally gotten better with no buffs. That means it's obviously the characters. Or possibly helmets, but who cares? It's obviously not gonna be the main copium thing, which is helmets. It's obviously gonna be the characters. Now the weapons. The primaries, they didn't even get buffed. Arcanes, fancy mods. Like, you have to play arbitrations. And, like, hope that RB drones don't mess up your entire run. Like, to get fight assassins, so you can get the galvanized mods. Just so you can realize that Hell's Chamber will probably be used more, as there's a lot more people doing destructions, and survivals mean that they all have to kill acolytes and demolists, and basically that the primary would only use galvanized hell if it's there to add clear and not there to kill acolytes or demolists or whatever. It's sad that DE has the wrong mindset. They don't think this is the mindset they have. It's add, not enhance. Like, it's not good. That won't help the game. If the new players are having bugs in Plains of Eidolon, and they need to do Plains of Eidolon besides Vigil to get Gala, an early game Warframe that they can easily get. It doesn't make sense. And also, like, Eidolon hunting, that's the endgame thing. Legit, the middle game is the most fun part. That shouldn't be the most fun part. That shouldn't be. It's the new game and the end game. The middle game is when you have to do, like, most of the stuff in the game. It is the middle has to be the biggest part. But no, end game is the most fun at this point. Like, right now, it's end game, but before it was middle game and new game, but not anymore. It's because of the lack of updates and new stuff that's coming out for other stuff. Like, the middle game can access end game and new game stuff. Not really though. It's that like, oh, you can do this. Like, the new war, you can do this. But you need to get a railjack first. Which means that you have to go to which planet? What planet? What planet gives you railjack? I don't even know. Who knows? Who knows what gives you railjack? No railjack. No railjack. Possibly could be like Europa. A rising tides on probably one of the water maps. No. Oh, God damn it. Like, it's really hard to know what you're getting next if the game won't even show when you're getting railjack, which is now one of the fun things to do. This means they've worked on that thing. They've worked on railjack to make it more fun, more needed, because you need to get mods, you have to prepare for the new war. And when we just talk about the new war, first off, they said it was several hours long. We thought it would be 5, 6, 7 hours, but in fact it was like 2 or 3 hours. For me, it was 3 hours for my gameplay. Yep, 3 hours of New War. I did an entire series on it. And it was 3 hours, not like 6, 7 hours like it said. Several means 7 because 7. Like, it makes no sense. The new war wasn't even that hard. I bet you could take it, I don't know, a Grendel, and you would still do good in it. It's because it was mainly you as the drifter and watching cutscenes and different characters. Like, over an hour of being different characters, and then you're the drifter for most of it. Alright, so anyway, to wrap this up, DE doesn't add new content, the new war is lackluster, new Warframes are just garbage, new Warframes are getting better because of the new Warframes, the primaries didn't even get buffed, it's just arcanes and mods, and it's still one of my favorite games, and also Nightmare Frame talking about movement, but that isn't even correct. So yeah, that's me talking about it. Expect more variety from me, because I don't know with Warframe, I'll just be doing endurance ones on the channel, or builds, or something that happens as a clip. So yep, adios.